Hi there. So today I thought I'd do something a little bit different. I wanted to explain a misunderstood concept regarding, or issue regarding dogs, and that's why dogs bite. And of course there's lots of different reasons why dogs bite. I'm not talking about when they're having their food here and you put your hands in and you get snapped. That's because they think you're going to steal their food and they're warning you off. This is a slightly more complicated issue where a lot of people are confused, and it's the one where, for example, a dog is sat on a couch, or they're on a leash, or they're just sat outside a shop somewhere, and somebody goes up to say hello to this friendly dog. Next thing you know, the dog is snapped, bitten. And a lot of dogs are put down for this reason. They're euthanized, and there's no real reason they should be. They haven't really, in my opinion, done anything kind of wrong. They're not bad dogs. They are misunderstood and they need to be protected. We need to educate the public and other dog owners so that these dogs are protected and they can live happy lives. Because, let me explain. I'm going to do this through a little bit of drama, a bit of skit. I've told this story many times in one-on-one consults, but I've never done it straight to camera for an audience like you guys. So bear with me. It's very off the cuff. I haven't even done my hair, haven't had a shave. I'm totally unprepared in that sense. But here's the story. So imagine this, picture this. I'm just a guy. I'm walking down the street, just a normal guy. Well, you might think fairly normal, but I'm walking down the street and just in a relaxed way, and there's a person coming towards me. It's a lady coming towards me who just so happens to look very much like my wife. And I look at the lady and think, oh, lovely lady, she looks like my wife, blonde hair, blue eyes. And I walk past and I smile and I say, hello there, and she replies, hello. Next thing I know, I've moved towards her, and then I've suddenly lunged at her, and I grab her in my arms. I try and give her a big cuddle just to say hello, and I love women like you, I say. And the next thing, she slaps me, she smacks me, she punches me. I mean, you understand where she's coming from. She's terrified. She's suddenly being attacked by this big guy who's trying to give her a cuddle. She doesn't know what's going on. She doesn't know me from a bar of soap. She has no idea, and she's just reacted. Now, it's kind of totally understandable where that lady's coming from, and we wouldn't blame her for that reaction. But imagine this. Imagine I then go to the police, and we go around to her home and we chat to the people who live there, her partner or whatever, and we say, we are very, very sorry, but this is what happened, and she was aggressive to this man who was just trying to give her a cuddle and be kind and lovely. She was aggressive. She punched him, and I'm afraid we're going to have to take her away. We're actually going to have to put her down because she's aggressive, and we can't have aggressive people like that on the streets. There'd be outrage, there'd be an outcry. That's ridiculous, because we all understand where that lady was coming from. And yet, if we apply the same concept to dogs, you start to see how rough these poor dogs have got it. I mean, let's just paint a story or a picture, which isn't that far from the truth. I've heard it happen many, many times. So it's pretty much what happens. Say you've got a Rottweiler, it could be a Chihuahua, and there's a young girl, and the dog's just sat by this shop waiting for the owner to come out, and this young girl, 9-year-old girl, comes along. She too has a Rottweiler or a Chihuahua, and she sees this dog and thinks, oh, I've got a dog just like that. I love Rottweilers, I love Chihuahuas. She walks up to the dog, and she just kind of invades the dog's space and grabs the dog and puts her head down by the dog's head. Dog reacts, snaps, bites, growls, scratches her, knocks her over. Immediately, I mean, of course, if it's a Chihuahua, the Chihuahua's probably not going to do nearly as much damage as a bigger dog like a Rottweiler. However, you can see it from the dog's point of view. The dog is simply terrified. This complete stranger has moved in, invaded their space, and they've just reacted out of fear. They don't know this person, they don't know who they are, what they're going to do, and they've just reacted. Now, unfortunately, a lot of dogs who do that behavior do actually get euthanized. We label them as aggressive dogs, and yet the dog has very few options, especially if they're tied on a leash and they can't move. A lot of dogs will try and turn, and they do something called the freeze, which is where they turn and kind of say, I'm not interested. We actually do that as humans. If you're not interested, you turn away. Dogs do that. They freeze and kind of say, please go away. Very often, though, we don't read those signals, and so the dog can't run away because they're on a leash. They've got no option left but to kind of warn, growl, snap. And that's what happens. And that's why these dogs who are so friendly will actually lash out, and we don't understand it. And I've even seen this happen outside of school, where a lady had a dog on a leash and she was inviting the children to come and say hello, and the poor dog was terrified. moving its head away, and she looked at me afterwards because she knew I was a dog behaviorist, and she sort of said, I probably shouldn't have done that, should I? I said, no, your dog was terrified, and it was that far from kind of just lashing out and snapping. So it's our responsibility to help educate the public, even dog owners, so that these dogs stand a chance and can live a happy life. And so the correct way to invite a dog, if somebody wants to say hello to your dog, hopefully they'll ask first, and then you say yes. And what you do is you basically give the dog a choice. You say to the dog, so if the dog's over there, you say, call the dog over and invite the dog into your space. So you say, Rover, come, Inky, come here. And if the dog chooses to come, then you can give the dog a pat, a cuddle, and say hello. And the chances of them being aggressive to you drop considerably. It's not impossible. The dog still has teeth, they can still bite, but it drops considerably because they've chosen to come over to you. In a way, it's the same as if you want to go and say hello to somebody. If you invite them into your space and say, hey, come and give me a hug, if they choose to come and give you a hug, they're probably not going to be offended. But if you just walk over to them and grab them, there's a much higher chance of them being a little bit offended, and they may not have wanted a hug. So hopefully that helps you understand dogs and the world that the dogs see through the eyes of your dog. And hopefully if we can educate people, it'll avoid a lot of dog bites and help dogs lead a happy life. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed that. I'm Doggy Dan. Have a great day.